Dear viewers, what would you do if you discovered the person you shared your home, your dreams, your very life with, wasn't who they claimed to be? Imagine lying next to someone night after night, laughing, sharing secrets, building a future, only to uncover that every smile, every word of love, every promise was built on lies. This is not just a story of love. It's a story of betrayal, of fear, and of finding the courage to walk away from the person you thought you knew best. Today, you'll hear Amelia's journey, a woman who thought she had found her forever, only to discover that her husband wasn't who he said he was. But before we begin, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments where you're tuning in from. We share stories that reveal not just the pain of betrayal, but also the strength of survival. And as you listen today, ask yourself this: if you were in Amelia's shoes, would you confront the truth? Or would you turn away, afraid of what you might uncover? Life has a way of testing our courage in the quietest of moments. And this story will make you reflect on the choices we all must make when faced with lies that cut deep. Dear viewers, stay with me to the very end. And please don't forget to subscribe to Voices of Reality for more true stories like this one. In suburban Ohio, Amelia James thought she had finally built the life she'd always wanted. She was a dedicated middle school teacher, beloved by her students and respected by colleagues. Her husband, Mark Thomas, was charming and attentive, working in finance. Everyone admired them, the couple who always showed up hand in hand at community events, backyard barbecues, and Sunday service. Her best friend, Claire, often teased Amelia. "You two are disgustingly perfect, like something out of a Hallmark movie." And Amelia believed it too, until small cracks began to show. Mark dodged questions about his family, never invited relatives over, and claimed his parents had passed away. Yet Amelia never saw photos, no heirlooms, nothing. It was the first shadow in their otherwise perfect picture. A shadow Amelia would later regret ignoring, because the man she married wasn't who he said he was. One crisp October evening, Amelia helped her neighbor, Mrs. Reynolds, carry groceries inside. While chatting, Mrs. Reynolds mentioned something that made Amelia's heart skip. "Funny, dear. When I ran into your husband last week at the pharmacy, the pharmacist called him Mr. Whitmore. Strange, right?" Amelia laughed it off, but the name stuck in her head. Later that week, while cleaning, she found a wallet shoved inside a shoebox. Inside was an ID, his photo, but the name read Daniel Whitmore. Her stomach churned. At dinner that night, she asked casually if he'd ever gone by another name. Mark's fork froze midair. He recovered quickly, smiling. "College nickname, you know how it is." But Amelia didn't believe him. That night, lying in bed, she stared at the ceiling, feeling the first waves of unease wash over her. From then on, Amelia began noticing more. Mark's late-night phone calls, his sudden business trips, the locked drawer in his office. One afternoon, when he was out of town, Amelia's curiosity got the better of her. She called her brother, Ethan, a police officer in Cleveland. "Run a background check for me. Daniel Whitmore," she whispered. Ethan hesitated. "Amelia, what's going on? Just please, I need to know." That same day, she also peeked into Mark's office. In the locked drawer, hidden beneath bills, she found receipts from Chicago, Detroit, and Pittsburgh, cities Mark had never mentioned. And then the photo. Mark, smiling, arm around a woman Amelia didn't know. A woman who looked close, too close, When she asked him about his business trip, he lied straight to her face. That's when she knew something wasn't right. A week later, Amelia's brother Ethan called back. Amelia, listen to me carefully. Daniel Whitmore is wanted in Michigan for fraud. Wire scams. There are sealed files I can't even access. Whatever you do, don't let him know you're onto him yet. Amelia's hands shook as she hung up the phone. That night at dinner, she couldn't hold it in anymore. Mark? Or should I call you Daniel? The fork clattered to his plate. His face turned pale, then hard. Where did you hear that name? Amelia tried to stay calm, but her voice wavered. I found your ID, the bank statements, the photo. Who are you really? For a moment he looked cornered. Then he leaned back, smiling coldly. You don't want to know, Amelia. Some truths you can't handle. Her stomach twisted, but she wasn't backing down. Over the next few weeks, Amelia confided in Claire, her best friend. Claire begged her, please, Amelia, leave. This isn't safe. But leaving wasn't so easy. Mark, Daniel controlled their finances, their home, their accounts. Amelia secretly met with Detective Harris, a local investigator Ethan connected her with. He confirmed the worst. Daniel Whitmore had been living under stolen identities for years. There were whispers of ties to organized crime. But what unsettled Amelia most wasn't his crimes. It was the people connected to him. That mysterious woman in the photo? Her name was Lena Rodriguez, and she wasn't just some stranger. She was his former partner, and she had vanished 3 years ago. Amelia's days turned into an act. She played the dutiful wife, smiling, cooking, pretending, while quietly planning her escape. She hid cash in her makeup bag, stashed her passport at Claire's house, met secretly with Detective Harris, who promised protection if she helped them build a case. But Daniel was sharp. One night, he returned from a trip early and found Amelia on the phone with Claire. His eyes narrowed. You two sure talk a lot. Anything I should know about? Her blood ran cold. From that moment on, she knew time was running out. The breaking point came on a stormy night. Daniel came home drunk, his temper volatile. You've been snooping, he hissed, cornering her in the kitchen. What do you know? Amelia's pulse raced. She lied, tried to act clueless. But he saw through it. He grabbed her wrist so tightly it left bruises. If you ever betray me, Amelia, you'll regret it. That night, sobbing in the dark, she called Ethan. I can't live like this anymore. I need out. Ethan promised. We'll get you out, sis. Just hang on. At 3 a.m., Amelia slipped out of bed, bag packed, heart pounding. Every creak of the floorboard felt like thunder. She got into her car and drove straight to the police station. Detective Harris and Ethan were waiting. By sunrise, Daniel Whitmore, alias Mark Thomas, was in handcuffs. It turned out Lena Rodriguez, the woman in the photo, had also helped the FBI years ago. And when she disappeared, Daniel went underground. Now, Amelia understood. She hadn't just married a liar. She had married a fugitive. Sitting in the police station, wrapped in a blanket, Amelia felt hollow, betrayed, broken, but also free. She looked at her brother, tears in her eyes. I don't know how to start over. Ethan squeezed her hand. You will. You're stronger than you think. And for the first time in years, Amelia believed him. Because though betrayal had shattered her life, she had escaped the darkness. And she knew she would never ignore the red flags again. Dear viewers, Amelia's story is one of betrayal, but also one of courage. It reminds us that sometimes the people we trust most may carry the darkest secrets. But it also shows us this. Even in the face of deception, we have the power to reclaim our lives. If you were Amelia, would you have confronted the truth sooner? Or would you have turned away, afraid of what you might find? Life often asks us the hardest questions in the quietest moments. Dear viewers, thank you for joining me on this journey. If this story touched you, please subscribe to Voices of Reality for more true, powerful stories of survival and hope. Until next time, take care of your heart and never ignore the red flags.